Hello, guys. Welcome to the next episode of Art Capital podcast. Warmest greetings from Los Angeles. We're currently in Hollywood Hills, and I'm having an interview with a local superstar on the real estate market. But before we jump into the show, please do not forget to hit the notification bell, like and comment and share, because all these efforts are highly appreciated and help us grow. So now, please let me introduce you Andres Hoyos. This is the bright example of a person whose American dream came true many years ago, because once he came here 20 years ago with no money in his pocket, with no knowledge of English language, he started from scratch, from zero, and now he's running a multi-billion brokerage company, and he has real estate under his control, under his management, for the amount of more than 100 million US dollar. Can you imagine that? So I have so many questions to ask Mr. Andres, and my first question is, how did you come to the real estate market? I know that you started in one of the most complicated years in the whole history of American economy in 2008. So how did you start that? How did you come to this business? And how did you manage to overcome all these hurdles in 2008? And how did you manage to build such a great empire?
Well, first of all, it is a pleasure to be part of your podcast. It's an honor. Thank you so much.
Thank you too.
You have an amazing thing going on, so I'm honored to be part of that as well. So thank you.
Thank you.
I came to U.S. originally from Colombia at the age of 17, 2001. I actually landed in L.A. right after, the Twin Towers event in October. And I started working in restaurants, Sherman Oaks actually, working in the kitchen, delivering pizzas and working long hours. I did that for about 7 years. And early in my 20s, I got to a point of frustration. I knew that I needed to do something with my life. Wasn't really a big fan of a school, but I needed to do something, with my life. So as I was looking for an answer, I went out with friends, and while I was waiting for my car, this gentleman came and approached me and offered me a job in real estate. That was during 2008 when the market collapsed. And so looking for opportunities, I'm one of those humans that is constantly self-aware and conscious of opportunities. So I identified that opportunity, show up to his office on Monday, and I started working in real estate with him in 2008. Fell in love with freedom more than money, being able to own your own time. And I did that for about a year with no success, which means that it is very important to know who's your mentor and getting the right mentorship. He gave me the opportunity, but he wasn't giving me the right mentorship. So I kind of burned about a year trying to sell homes. It was a very challenging time trying to sell properties when at the same time everybody was losing everything, right? So it was challenging, but I'm blessed, I'm grateful, and I'm glad that I started during those times. I think that that's how you build character, and I wouldn't change anything about it. I love it.
Sounds great. Sounds great. I know that you named yourself as a real estate evangelist. And what does this term mean to you, and how do you convey the passion towards real estate to your clients?
I'm obsessed with real estate. I'm obsessed
can
with the
understand that.
business. I'm very passionate about real estate. I don't see it as a work. I can spend hours, days. So far, it's been 16 years, and I'm still putting 12, 14, 16-hour days because it's just the passion of doing something that you love. And I think that when you're practicing something that you love and it's your work, it's a blessing. So yeah. And I love, sharing the knowledge and experience that I have so far, and love supporting others and building others. If there is something I can do to help someone avoid the same mistakes that I did and help them, build their business, I love that. I'm passionate about it.
Could you please tell me more about your Sync Brokerage company? How many people are working for this company? When did you establish it? What are the values of your company? And how do you discover, how would you describe the current real estate market here in Los Angeles right now?
So, Sync Brokerage, I actually decided to open my own brokerage in 2017. When I started in 2008, I started as an assistant. I did that for about a year and a half. I got my license in 2011. I built my team with 5, 6 agents working under my name. I became top producer agent for 3 consecutive years of one of the biggest companies worldwide. Wow. Back then it was Remax. Mm-hmm. My personality, I'm always looking for a challenge, and when I do something over and over and over and I don't feel that there is a challenge anymore, then I'm looking for something different. And so in 2014, I decided to go into management and recruiting. I was working for another company. 2017, after I learned what it takes to run a company and what happens behind the scenes, I identified an opportunity to build a boutique, a hybrid business concept between the cloud-based company like EXP, Real, Site, and then the traditional business model as Keller Williams, Remax, and so others. So I saw that there was an opportunity to have a hybrid concept, concentrating in quality agents rather than quantity of licenses. And that's when I came out with the concept in 2017. Initially, I wasn't thinking of having a big company. I was just more like, I just want to have my own shop and be able to have fun, do what I do with happiness, promote good environment, positivity. And I think that the same core values that I started my business with, it was something that the agents that were working with me, they loved that. And so through the same agents, we started kind of like growing organically. 12 months later, we got to 22 agents. There was a big company, actually one of the biggest companies here in U.S., offered me to buy me out in 2019. And when that happened, that was like, okay, I'm doing something. I'm on the right direction. So now I'm going to take it seriously and build my own brokerage. Yeah. Fast forward, currently we have, we actually work in different markets. So we have locations in California. We have locations in Florida. Right now we're close to 200 agents. Knocking on wood, I'm negotiating something pretty decent. So by the end of the year, we're probably going to pass 500-600 agents. Last year, we opened our own mortgage company, our own escrow company as well. And so without losing the core values of really helping other agents becoming their best version of themselves and reaching their full potential, we want to continue growing this company. The vision is to go IPO by 2027. Wow. But I always say, without losing your core values and the vision, right? Yeah. Right. So that's kind of like the overview of Sync. In terms of the market, I mean, the market is, there is a lot going on in real estate in U.S., a lot.
I can imagine and feel that.
Yeah? Yeah. There's a lot going on. It is a good market. Like I said, I'm blessed that I started when the market collapsed back in 2008, because when I was doing and practicing real estate, in order for me to sell one transaction, it will take me 6 months. And it will take me a lot of work to get paid. Yeah. Sometimes you will work for 6 months, 12 months, 2 years, negotiating short sales and bank-owned properties. And at the end, something happened, the title is not clean, or something happens along the lines, and you lose all that time. And obviously, we work based on commission, so it was difficult. So nowadays, when I see that, okay, our real estate industry and the market itself is going through a transition, through a different cycle, I still think that is a really good market compared to 2008. Really good market.
Do you think nowadays is the right time to enter this market for first-time home buyers?
I will say that it is always a good time, as long as you can afford and you can pay the mortgage. It is always a good time. Historically, if you look at real estate investments, even if you were buying real estate at the peak, that's when people made, build wealth.
Yeah.
And I will always say, if you can afford the mortgage, instead of paying rent, get yourself a property. Now, I'm not a big fan of promoting home ownership to first-time home buyers, which is kind of weird.
Why?
I have a different mentality. If I see a home buyer, first-time home buyer with the family, whenever you purchase a house, it becomes an expense, right? A liability, because you want to make your house beautiful, you want to remodel the house, and then the garden, the kitchen, and so forth.
Yep.
It becomes an expense. Long term, yes, you build wealth, and you can leverage that. But if I was a first-time home buyer, and I have the ability to purchase real estate, my first property will be multifamily, 4 units.
Multifamily.
Maybe
Mhm.
5. I will start with 4 units. Depending on whatever type of financing you're using, you can actually live in 1 unit, rent the other 3. Those 3 units are paying your mortgage and is giving you revenue.
Yeah.
And then a few years later, you refinance, you get a line of credit, and then I buy my house. But now I have an investment property and I own a property. So I will start completely different.
What is the approximate price of this kind of multifamily for units?
In LA,
Yeah, in LA.
I would say
Or maybe in
it depends on location, but
Yeah.
average, I would say 1.2, $1.4 million. But there are lending programs that you can use 75% of the rental income to help you qualify for it.
Yeah.
And when you run the numbers, you ended up living essentially for free.
What is the minimum down payment for this kind of property?
Well, right now with FHA, which is a first-time home buyer program,
Yeah.
3.5% down payment. So let's say a property of $1 million, you buy it with 3.5% down payment. You can finance 97.5, and you can use 75% of the rental income to help you qualify.
Do I understand correctly that the more your down payment is, the less interest rate you can obtain from lenders?
Correct. Your pricing on the mortgage is going to be based on down payment, credit, what we call DTI as well, and also depending on the lending program that you use. By default, government lending programs, the interest rate is a little bit less than conventional or non-QM, or even hard money loans. So yes.
What about non-residents? In theory, can non-residents of the United States purchase a unit here in California?
Absolutely. Anywhere in U.S., 30% down payment. We actually have, in our mortgage company, we have lending programs for
Foreigners?
foreigners or international buyers. And actually in Florida, we have offices there. A huge pool of buyers are coming, international buyers, whether it's overseas, South America, but they're using 30% down payment to get financing. Yeah.
What is the best investment opportunity from your professional opinion in Los Angeles, let's say, or generally maybe in US, in terms of location, in terms of type of property, the start and check, for those who just want to enter this market and start investing here?
I would say you can never lose with California, Texas, Florida. Those are kind of the main states that drive the economy of US. Anywhere you go, I will always go towards multifamily. Now, it depends on the local governments and the rental income and the rent control regulations. Nowadays, and even though I'm in California and I'm a huge promoter of homeownership in California, as an investor, I will probably place my money in states that are friendly with landlords rather than protecting tenants. It might sound wrong, but again, when you're putting a lot of money into a piece of property as an investor, you want the government to somehow also be on your side protecting your investment because you're paying taxes and so forth. So,
Which states do you mean?
I'll say right now Texas and Florida.
Texas and Florida.
Florida has no rent control, which is very attractive for investors. Something that we have seen recently, in the last 3 years, we've seen a lot of investors, hedge funds, and investment funds taking their assets, actually liquidating their assets in California and taking their capital to Florida, buying multifamily there.
Yep.
It's a little bit more economic, and the cap rates are a little bit higher, and then there is no rent control.
I know that you have successfully built a 10 million plus US dollar real estate empire within a relatively short period of time. How did you manage to do it?
Hundreds.
Hundreds. Oh my God. Okay, hundreds. Yeah.
Honestly, going back to passion is understanding really, having really a direction and a vision, a clear vision where you want to build your business to. Never letting go of the core values or the reason why you started that business, right? First place. And honestly, just being very stubborn and working really hard, exposing yourself to the universe and to everyone, building a lot of relationships, protecting your name as your reputation, and having very good work ethic and integrity, just working hard, nonstop. Like I mentioned, day to day, I remember when I started as a realtor, and this is something that I was sharing with my agents yesterday, even though the market was difficult, the struggle was so real and the necessity of surviving was big that it didn't matter how many hours I was working until I closed my first transaction. Day to day, I still embrace this same determination and fire for the business, working 14, 16 hours a day, and I enjoy it. And so it takes a lot of work, a lot of time, a lot of rejection, a lot of setbacks. But I guess one of the things that I developed with the time is I have learned how to love pain just the same way that I love success. And when you embrace both and you learn from both, I think that you can become pretty successful.
Okay,
Yeah.
could you please tell me what is the biggest difference between the real estate market in Florida and here in California?
Huge difference, same fundamentals, but huge difference. Starting with, from the agent perspective, one of the things that we don't have in Florida is the work ethic that we have in California. It's a very laid-back city, and I'm not saying in general everywhere, but for the most part, the environment is a little bit more laid back. Urgency levels are not there. In California, at least in LA, we are go, workaholics, nonstop. Urgency is like top level. So when you go to Florida, especially Miami, it's like it's a different environment. It's a different lifestyle. So as a broker owner, my frustration is when I go to Florida, I got to slow down a little bit so I can actually get along with everyone there. In terms of market, in LA, California in general, we don't have enough inventory. We don't. In Florida, we have plenty of inventory. We have a lot of properties sitting on the market for over 400 days, 200 days, 300 days. So there is a lot of opportunity there. California home values continue going up. These past 12 months, we went up about 4.5, 5.5%. For the next 12 months, the forecast is another maybe 3-4%. Right now in Florida, depending on location, but for the most part, Miami, home values are coming down. Now, that doesn't mean that the market is collapsing in Florida. What that means is that now homeowners and sellers are a little bit more realistic about their property values. Because of the high demand, everyone going to Florida, there was kind of like this bubble. And everyone was asking ridiculous price for a home, and they were getting it from people coming from California, New York, so forth. So now I think that the market is adjusting to a more realistic value. So it's two different markets.
Yeah. Regarding real estate market here in Los Angeles, do you currently see many foreclosures here?
Not really.
Not really. Okay.
I don't see they coming anytime soon. A lot of people see or speculate that there is a wave of foreclosures coming. I don't think that will happen, just for the simple fact that 60% of homeowners have equity. So even if you are a homeowner that you're not paying the mortgage, right before the bank comes and takes your house, you have the opportunity to put the property for sale, sell it, pay it off the bank, and walk away with equity. So compared to back in 2006 all the way to 2009, and even, all the way to 2013, when the market collapsed, a lot of those homeowners were upside down with their mortgage payments, with their mortgages, right? Property value was less than the market value. I'm sorry, I got confused. The property value was less than whatever they used to own the bank, so they were upside down. In this case nowadays in this market is the opposite. We have a lot of equity, and even if they're not paying the mortgage, they can still sell, pay it off, and move on. So I don't see foreclosures coming. I think it's like nationwide less than 3% in default.
I know that Los Angeles real estate market is famous for its not only diversity but competitiveness, severe competitiveness. How do you, as a real estate brokerage owner, how do you survive among other real estate agents here in this severe competition?
Right. LA market is a very competitive market. You have really good agents and brokerages. You just have to be on top of your business. You got to be the broker or the agent that knows the market, tracks the market. Building long-term relationships helps. Nowadays is branding and promoting, giving back, educating the consumer, and to a certain extent, you have to be aggressive and make it an obsession. So you got to be aggressive. When you're in a market like LA, even New York, Manhattan, or Miami, you have to be aggressive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about the clients? Do you currently have more clients as the end users of the properties you are selling, or more real estate investors, or maybe half-half?
It's a mix. Our productivity comes, we have overall about 65% of what we produce is buyers. Within those buyers, you have first-time home buyers, second home buyers, and then you have, I want to say probably 25% of that is investors. The other 45% is sellers, and that applies to both markets. Yeah.
Sounds great. Have you heard anything about Dubai real estate market? And do you have any kind of experience with Dubai?
Heard a little bit. I know that Dubai's market is booming, is growing. Property values are going up. There is a lot of desire for property. I believe it's going to, long term, I don't know, maybe 5-10 years from now, it's going to become a pretty desirable destination for wealthy people because they have no taxes. That's what I know.
Yeah.
So it's like a very nice shelter for your money. New construction, new developments with a lot of incentives. We were trying to expand our company to Dubai 2 years ago. That's why I know just a little bit about Dubai. And for the most part, when you talk about Dubai, you're picturing these multi-million-dollar condo with views, right? But you also have 350, 450,000 new developments.
Yeah,
where
lot.
Even the developer is doing the financing with incentives. So we'll love to learn more about Dubai. We'll love to expand the business to Dubai, including myself going and actually seeing those new developments. It seems like a very, very good destination to retire.
Indeed.
Yeah?
Indeed.
What can you share about Dubai?
Dubai is really one of the best places for living now and for investing. Dubai is extremely safe, and according to Numbeo, for example, statistics, Abu Dhabi was admitted to be the safest city on the globe. Dubai is taking, I think, the 3rd or the 4th position. We have almost zero criminal rate. We have extremely clean streets on the roads. I know that Americans usually do not believe me, but we have extremely high quality schools over there. Top schools from Europe, they already opened their branches across Dubai, Abu Dhabi, and other Emirates. So everything is extremely safe. In terms of earnings, we have high earnings. We don't have any taxes.
I love that.
Yes, especially if you live here in US. I know because I'm also US resident. So the only tax you pay when you purchase a property in Dubai is just 4%. Then if you rent
That's
it out, if you resell it, whatever the price is, whatever the amount you're earning on the top, you don't pay anything.
No capital gains.
No capital gains. We can
Wow.
also, so the government also issues residency visas for those with the minimum investment for real estate at around 205,000 US dollar. So it's quite affordable amount of money. So in this case, you're eligible for 2 years resident visa.
Wow.
If your investment is at least 2 million dirhams, which equals 550,000 US
Okay.
dollar, then you are eligible for 10 years golden visa. And with this type of visa, you can sponsor your parents, your kids, even your kids who are not married up to 25 years old, your spouse, your nanny, your personal driver,
Wow.
your maids. Yeah, it's fantastic. We have
Wow.
summer all year around, but maybe the main disadvantage of living in Dubai is climate in summer. So we have
Is it dry or humid?
both,
Okay.
both, and we have extreme temperatures in summer. So usually after the schools are over in late June, people are go away somewhere.
Over 100 degrees?
More, much more.
Vegas style, 120?
More, yeah, more, even it can be more,
Wow.
130, 150 maybe even.
Wow.
Yeah, around up to 62 degrees by Celsius.
Wow.
Yeah,
It's pretty hot.
Yeah, pretty hot, pretty hot.
That seems to be a very interesting place to put your money there.
Indeed. Come to Dubai. You know, there is
I'm
a saying,
definitely- yeah.
Habibi, come to Dubai.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to plan that trip next year. I'll take my
plan a
girls
trip.
there.
Yeah, that's a great place for vacation and great place to bring up your kids over there.
Okay. I was thinking of moving to Florida, but now Dubai is the place.
Yeah, why not? Why not?
Definitely, we have to plan that trip and also see how we can collaborate.
Yeah, for sure.
Absolutely.
We have to. We have to.
I love it. I
We
love
have
it.
to. So, Andres, if we go back to your client-first mentality, I know that you are known for establishing long-term relationships with your clients. How do you manage to do that? And what advice could you give to real estate agents who have just started this career path?
First of all, if you are a brand new real estate agent, I will definitely suggest to join a team and get some type of mentorship. It's a very competitive industry. 87% of all realtors, or 87% of all new realtors, they actually quit real estate within the first 2 years because it's really tough. It's very competitive. You're commission based, so you don't have any income or benefits. It's an emotional roller coaster that one day you want to take over the world, and next day you just don't want to see anyone. So if you're a new licensee, definitely start with a team. Learn from good mentors. Be very selective, who you work with. I'll say that the fundamentals of this business is creating relationships with people, putting yourself in front of people all the time, whether it's open houses, prospecting, networking events. Everywhere you go, you have to be in business 24/7 and be able to have communication skills and people skills. That's important. To certain extent, your people or your people skills or communication skills are more important than your sales skills. That being said, in summary, join a team. In terms of consumer, I always say that you want to be authentic. I'm a huge believer that I'm energy driven. And I decide to do business with people or spend time with people or in certain environment based on the energy that I feel. If I don't feel good about the energy of someone, I will avoid them. And that applies to you as a realtor. Whenever you're having a meeting, whether it's a listing presentation, buyer's presentation, or working with an investor, doesn't matter. I think that people ended up doing business with you based on your energy, your connection as a human being. So just be authentic, be who you are, connect with people at a human level, and then everything will start unfolding organically. Obviously, if you have knowledge about the industry and you're always representing the best interest of the consumer, people will recognize that and will do business with you, regardless of the competition. And moving forward is just staying in contact with people, keep them, updated about the market, local regulations, and just service the client and educate the consumer. Obviously, your business starts growing with time, but never be afraid of asking for a referral. I'll say, hey, if you're satisfied with my service and you like and you enjoy the experience, I would love to do the same for family members, friends that you might know. I want to be the number one realtor in your family and in your environment. So, but ultimately, it's just being authentic and just build relationships long term. Don't be transactional. Forget about the dollar sign.
Yeah. All these values resonate to me a lot. Thank you so much for valuable insights.
I'm glad.
Okay, if we're talking about real estate investors, what advice would you give to those who are just going to invest here in US generally?
I will say that location. That's kind of like what, number one rule.
Yeah.
I will buy property in average area where, you have middle income class, working people. They always need a roof to rent. They always rent. I would say if you're buying multifamily, stay within the 800 to maybe even like 1,200 to maybe $3,000 range in rent. That is an affordable rent that most families can pay. Luxury real estate for rent is another animal, very risky. I would say just buy based on location, do your homework, definitely select the realtor that you're working with, make sure that they have knowledge. Run your numbers and make sure that the return of investment is there, pretty decent cap rate. And then leverage real estate. Once you buy the first property, hold on to it, wait for the property value to go up, refinance or get a line of credit, use that money to buy the second one. Same thing, wait a couple of years, get another line of credit or refinance and buy the third one. Eventually down the road, 5-10 years later, you have a really nice portfolio that you can kind of like put together, sell it, and go buy one big property in one location, or just keep them and retire or do something else. But definitely, real estate is the best vehicle for freedom, financial freedom, and wealth.
And passive income.
Absolutely.
Actually, I asked this question for myself, to be honest. Yeah. Thank you so much. Very
Absolutely.
Very
Anytime.
Very high
And
policy.
like I said, it's an honor to be part of your podcast, and I'm looking forward to do one of these in Dubai.
Yeah, perfect. At the very end of each podcast, with every guest, I ask the same question.
Is that a tricky question? Hard question?
Yeah, to some extent, maybe.
Okay.
So what is the biggest lesson that life has taught you?
The biggest lesson. That's a really good question. Wow. I'll say my answer will be I'll say faith. Never lose faith. I was about to say persistence, but to a certain extent, there is a bigger power than us as humans, so I'll say faith. Always have faith. Yeah, that's the biggest lesson. Never, regardless of the situation, if you have faith, at some point things will work out and things will fall into place.
I agree.
Yeah, faith. Yeah. That's it. That's it.
Perfect.
That's the biggest lesson.
Thank you so much.
My pleasure. My pleasure. I had fun, and it was a great podcast. Great questions, by the way. And looking forward to the next one. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you. I know that just in the middle of the next month, on the 18th of September, I just am keeping an eye on your social media, that you are having an event at Sofitel Hotel here in Los Angeles. What is this event about? Is it for investors or for agents? Could you please tell me more about it?
So we do a lot of networking events. This is how we actually been building our company and branding and market exposure is we do big networking events. They're open to investors. They're open to real estate agents from different companies. They're open to hard money lenders or different entrepreneurs. We do the Summer Bash. That's September 18 at the Sofitel. We did it last year. We had about 240 people. It's a great place to go connect, network. If you are intentional about the reason why you're going there, you can make really good connections, great connections, and grow your business and build relationships. So that is September 18th, Sofitel. Roughly, probably this year, 250, 260 people. Amazing event.
I wish I were here in
Oh, wow, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, we'll send you some reels and videos.
Yes, please.
But October, we're doing another one, which is the Halloween Bash. Last year, we did it at the Avalon Club right here in Hollywood. 340 people. Again, different companies. And so we do a lot of events all the time. So most likely next time you come to LA, let me know, and then we'll plan something nice.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Love it.
Thank you.
I appreciate it.